What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thank you for watching another podcast of Wolfpack Cigar Club. Rafi, how you doing?
Doing good, man. It's a little chilly out here, man, but we still
Yeah,
smoking, man.
I, I can see you blowing the smoke without smoking,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Ton- Tonight we got a special guest, Aaron Paoletta, the owner of LaVega Lounge, LaVega Cigars, right here. Aaron, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, boys. How are you both doing?
Everything good, bro. Hot in Miami, cold in PA. You
Oh,
know,
you're in
I got.
Miami?
I'm in Miami. I got an AC next to me,
I don't want to hear your shit.
like
I
literally
don't want to hear
next
your
to
shit
me,
because I got a
bro.
fireplace next to me.
You see what I gotta deal with, bro? Every time I get on a YouTube video and all of that, he always gotta say, "Oh yeah, I'm over here in Miami."
Yeah, but that's okay because
Yo,
14 years I lived out in Las Vegas and I trust me, I feel your pain. We had an AC on all year
ah,
round.
bro, it sucks, bro. But it is what it is. Yo, Aaron, thank you for coming in and smoking with us and giving us a chance to for the people that watches our podcast and the members of the club and everybody that follow us to have an opportunity to learn more about your brand. Tell us a little bit more, when you got into the game, when you got into the industry, why you got into the cigar industry. You mentioned that you have a new cigar lounge. Just tell us a little bit of, information on how you got into the cigar
Well, I
industry.
didn't I didn't come from the industry like most of these guys do. Most of them come from the industry one way or another. They were either reps or they worked for big companies or they did something. I mean, I
Yeah.
trained as a chef in Las Vegas, and it
Oh,
I'm like not even I was just a cigar enthusiast, and then 14 years living out west, being in all the kitchens, making that kind of money, I was able to get back into my other passion, which was music, and I had a recording studio down by the strip. Um, I had a small independent record label, and then I inevitably started my own band. And throughout the course of the years, I mean, I had contracts with Warner Brothers and Rind Records and Sony. Like I've
oh,
toured all
wow.
over this country. When we ended up coming back back to Pennsylvania, I really didn't know what to do with myself because that's Vegas is 24/7. So I go from doing something every hour of the day to coming back here, and I ain't got nothing to do. Everything closes down at 7 o'clock at night, and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
around and I'm thinking, man, I really need to get back into my cigars because when I was in Vegas, like I still smoke cigars because I've been smoking cigars since I was 18, so probably about 22 years now. But out there, because I was so busy all the time, I didn't have a chance to slow down and enjoy my cigars. So when I moved back to my hometown, I had nothing but time on my hand. So when I started relaxing and smoking more cigars and actually enjoying what the cigar is supposed to be, it kind of got me thinking, okay, I really want to get into this one way or another. So in December of 2019, January 2020, I came up with the original concept of La Vega, which was a mobile lounge. So summer of 2020 is when I started this mobile lounge. And I would take it around to different parking lots and just sell cigars, put chairs outside so
Nice.
everybody who was driving by could come and sit and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
And which that inevitably led to I wanted to start my own brand.
Okay.
Well, throughout a couple of years of doing this mobile lounge, I started doing my own podcast, which all the episodes are on my website. And the more I would travel around doing these different episodes, I would go to different lounges and film with them. So now the cigar community can see what
Yeah.
lounges are out there.
Hmm.
I did one night and it was over at the Grand Resort in Warren, Ohio, and Casa Cuevas was there. And it was
Mm.
right when Alec had released the Sangre Nueva. Now, have you guys tried that
Oh,
cigar
wow.
yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that
I had
thing's
it. I
phenomenal.
have.
Unfortunately, they can't get the Cameroon
Yeah.
wrapper right now, but that was Alec's first blend. So I normally got the table right next to the main table because I would talk with the owners of these companies to for my journal because I'm writing the notes down. And
Yeah.
Alec comes walking by, and I says, "Hey man, can I stop you for a second?" And he said, "Sure. What's up?" I said, "Is this cigar supposed to taste like beef jerky?" because like that's the first note that I got was beef jerky, and he goes, "I'm surprised you caught that." And I said, "Bro, I guess it's my experience. I was a chef." And but 3 hours later, we had a handshake, and their factory was now making my cigars.
Wow. Awesome.
Oh,
So
Casa
that's
Cuevas.
how I
Wow,
entered
bro.
the industry.
That's crazy.
It was literally with a 3-hour
Nice.
conversation with them and a handshake. And Luis Jr. has been just a huge mentor for me. He showed me the ropes. Tony Bellato from LaVega Cigars and Lost and Found. He's my mentor. He's actually headquartered over in Niles, Ohio. So between the two of them, man, like I jumped into this industry not knowing a thing and learning the hard way, but I had two really good people behind me to show me the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. You had two good mentors. I mean, Tony Bellato and Casa Cuevas behind you, bro. That's wow, bro. I'm impressed. Really, like a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't know. I speak to a lot of people and they don't know a lot of Casa Cueva, but they have some really good cigars.
Yeah,
like I agree with you. The
they got the
Sangre
La Mandaria.
Nueva,
That thing's
La
good.
Mandaria.
I love that one.
Yeah, tremendous cigar. Yeah, for me, I like Sangre Nueva, but like my favorite stick from them is La Mandaria.
I like the Habano more than the Oscuro, but I love the story behind it. And when I was talking to Luis one day, as a matter of fact, in my lounge, I called him and I said, "Yo, I want your cigars in here. Pick whatever you want and send it to me." So he actually sent the La Mandaria, Habano and Oscuro, and the Patrimonio is in here as well. And when I heard the story behind it, because you say you're in Miami, well, they're in Miami, and somebody broke into their warehouse with a sledgehammer.
Wow.
And that's how. That's La Mandaria. So they made a cigar named after that. I thought that was kind of funny. I love that story.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, bro. I'm really glad to the people that will be watching the podcast, they'll know that LaVega Cigars are made and manufactured by Casa Cuevas, a really well-known brand in the U.S. So these cigars are made in Dominican
the Las
Republic?
Lavas factory.
Okay.
In Santiago.
Nice.
And then,
Santiago. Let me ask you. So why the name Il Primo? Like the cousin,
well,
right?
in Spanish, yes, but I'm Italian.
I'm
Italian.
Yeah.
So
Italian.
In Italian, it's just a little bit different. So all these cigar companies, they all name everything Latin in some way. Okay, Spanish in some way. I'm Italian, so the only thing Spanish in my repertoire is LaVega. Now, LaVega is actually one word for me, but I capitalize the L and the V, and actually that's paying homage to Las Vegas. I just dropped the S's and smushed the word together.
Okay, all right, nice.
So that's where the name comes from. But everything else is in Italian. So in Italian, Il Primo means the first, Secondo means the second, Terzo means the third. And that's
there you go.
I chose the blends.
Okay, nice.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. I thought it was the same.
No, that's the only thing that's different. I name everything in Italian.
Nice. La Vega for a lot of people that you guys don't speak Spanish that will be watching the podcast. La Vega means the tobacco field,
like the farm.
In Spanish is La Vega. Vega de tabaco meaning like tobacco field. That's why the name. But like you said, you put all together, but you capitalize the V. Nice, bro. Bro, listen. Knowing that this is made by Casa Cuevas, it speaks a lot, bro. And you having the connection with them, with Tony Bellato, and having them as mentors. I mean, what a better way to get into the industry. Like you said, you didn't come from a family of, you didn't come from a family that they've been dealing with cigars. You're the first generation, and having these mentors, that's
it's kind of been my MO throughout life. It's just if something seems like it's going to be fun, I dive right into it. And
Yeah.
I do it until it's not fun anymore. Now, thankfully, this is more my retirement plan, and I want to carry this on. Now, I don't have any kids, but my brother, he has 4 kids. So I'm hoping that at least one of them is going to want to do this, and then
Yeah.
I'll train them how to
There
do
you
it.
go.
They can come in, because like my niece Olivia, she every time my brother still lives in Las Vegas, so I still go see him. But every time I see her, like she'll always be like, cigar,
Yeah.
like, because she always sees me with a cigar. I mean, so I'm hoping she's the one that wants to take over,
There you
but
go.
we'll see.
Yeah,
see.
definitely, man.
Yeah, we're on the
Hmm.
same boat, bro. No kids. So, and on my side, I don't have any brothers or sisters. So, whatever I leave behind, I have no idea
Well,
who's gonna take it. Probably a friend, a younger
my
friend.
my my thing is this: like, I don't necessarily believe that I need to have a kid to carry on a legacy. My name is my legacy.
Yeah, definitely.
My word. Like
Exactly.
my father was a master carpenter, journeyman pattern maker, and when he would make something, he would stamp his name on the bottom of something.
Okay.
And I would always ask
Exactly.
him, like, why you do it? And he goes, because after you die, your brand is still there,
Hmm.
and people
It's
remember
still
that
there.
you made that, and it'll go on and on and on
Exactly.
until that piece is destroyed. So like, I'm not necessarily worried about, next of kin. I'm more worried about
Yeah.
my name carrying this on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So you mentioned, Aaron, that you have a now you don't have a mobile lounge. Now you have like a physical
Yeah,
store,
I'm
like
sitting in it right
for
now,
people to
actually.
go
Okay.
to, right?
Nice.
So,
Nice. So what happened
well,
with
the
the mobile
mobile lounge
lounge?
became a real pain in the ass, because packing all that stuff each time, and try
Yeah.
to take it different places. So I stopped doing that and um, started concentrating on doing my cigars, because in
Okay.
2023, that's when I launched officially. So I went to market on May
Okay.
11th of 23. So May 11th is actually my grandmother's birthday. Now, she passed away back in
Okay.
'09. But that was my abuela. That was my girl, man. Like, nothing, like,
Yeah.
she was everything to me. So when I do something, I always do it on her birthday, and that's my way of
Oh, okay.
paying respects
Nice.
to her. So May 11th of
Yeah,
23 is
man.
when I launched. At that point, I couldn't do the lounge no more. But when I had my sign put out in the front yard, um, probably about 9-10 months, everybody kept calling me and stopping, wanting to buy cigars. Like, are you open? I'm like, I'm not a retailer. but what, like,
Yeah.
who's a manufacturer in Pennsylvania? I mean, there's not many
Yeah.
manufacturers, and most of them are down in Miami or down in Florida somewhere.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
everyone kept calling, and it was in October of this past year, 24, and I had 5 people call me and ask me what time I closed. I had 2 people stop in to buy cigars, and I called my wife. I says, one more motherfucker shows up here and wants to buy cigars. I'm building a lounge because I'm tired of this. 10 minutes later, dude came in and bought 2 boxes of cigars. I said, fuck it, I'm building a lounge.
Wow. Yeah. There you go, man. It was
So
your
me,
calling, man. It was your calling, man.
Nice.
that's it, man. Like, God talks to you, man. You got to
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
It's up to us to listen. So me and
That's
my
Exactly.
buddy
true.
Evan, we built this lounge from the ground up in 2.5 days.
Wow. Beautiful, man.
It was that quick.
Wow.
Sheesh.
So Aaron, so do you only in the lounge? Do you only sell La Vega,
Oh
or
no,
you also
I
sell
sell
other
everything.
brands?
So I have 2 humidors, cabinet humidors,
Okay.
and one of them is the legacy humidor, the other is the boutique humidor. Now, the
Okay.
interesting part about these
Oh,
humidors is I
nice.
brought them with me from Las Vegas. So my wife and my mother worked for a guy named Michael Fry. Now, Michael Fry owns Fry Boy Tobacco. He owns Monte Cristo Cigar Lounge in Las Vegas, the Cigar Box, Casa Fuente. He owns all that.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing,
Wow.
when I got off tour, I needed some work because I wasn't doing anything. So I asked, he needed some stuff done. So I went down and we were moving stuff around in his warehouse, and he had 3 of these humidors down there, and I'm like, where do these come from? He's like, oh, they got pulled out of Casa Fuente. We're redoing everything. I'm like, well, what do you want to do with them? He goes, do you want them? I'm like, well, how
Wow.
much? He's like, just get them out of here.
Oh, man.
Okay. So I went
Sheesh.
Wow.
home. I
Yeah.
grabbed my band trailer. I came back down. he wanted one for his buddy. I loaded the other 2 up and I took them home, and I'm putting them inside on a dolly, and my wife goes, "What are you gonna do with those?" I said, "I don't know, but if I ever do something with them, at least I'll have them."
That's
So
crazy.
Exactly.
they stayed in my house for
Exactly.
about 9 years until I brought them down here. So now
Mm,
one of them is a boutique,
Wow.
one of them's a legacy. So in the legacy, I've got, like, let me see here. I got Rocky Patel's Patron, I got Monte
okay.
Cristo, Perdomo, EP Carrillo, Fuente. Like, I got all the main
Yeah, yeah,
legacy
yeah.
brands.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
main
in the
brand. Yeah.
boutique, everybody in the boutique humidor is all people that I know personally. Like
Oh, nice. Okay.
Casa Cuevas is in there, Esteban Carreras, Patina
Nice.
Cigars, La Barba
Okay.
Cigars, Luciano Cigars.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm missing a couple because I can't see them all. Oh, Casa Caraballo, he's in there. Like
Nice.
these are all
Oh,
people that I
nice.
know personally. So the only way you're getting in that humidor is if I know them.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, nice, nice. Big
Yeah.
shout out to Casa Caraballo. He's a
Yeah.
really good friend of ours, and he spoke to me about you, Aaron, and then you reached out, and I'm glad that he made the connection for us to be able to smoke, try your cigars, and be able to do the podcast, bro. If everybody in the industry, in the cigar industry,
Mm-hmm.
would do this, it would be a different world. If everybody would give a little help here and there, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what brand. If you have another brand, if I have another brand, but it will be a really different a world, and that's what we want. That's what we want to see. Be able to collaborate with different brands. Get together. Have a good time and be able to help out. Each other. At the end of the day, like I always say, like the pie is big enough for everybody to
It
eat. You
is.
know what I
I think
mean?
the biggest problem that I've run into so far, and it's not as bad as a lot of these other industries. Like the food industry was terrible, but in this
Mm,
industry, like I'm not in competition with anybody. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't care if you
exactly.
get your tobacco from the same farm that I get my tobacco. Okay.
Exactly.
It's all
Exactly.
going to
Yeah.
be different. I'm not making the same
Yep.
cigars as you. I'm
Exactly.
doing
Mm-hmm.
different blends than you, even though we're using the same shit. I'm
Yep.
still doing it different. So why are we in competition?
Yep.
I'm just in it because I support. Like right now, right? This isn't my cigar. I'm smoking someone else's cigar. Now I took the band off of it for this, for this podcast. But I
Mm-hmm.
do.
Of course.
I'm
Of
a
course.
lover
Of
of the
course.
leaf. I could give a shit whose
Yes.
band's on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always
I
smoking other
like that. I
people's
like.
cigars. I want to see what they're creating.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I like what you just said because unfortunately, some other brands they're only focus. I understand you gotta be focused on your brand, but like you said, you also gotta try out. You also gotta smoke what's out there. I'm not saying that you are gonna copy what people are doing, but from trying different brands and blends and different things like that, you get more ideas and you can implement new ideas to your brand. I don't see anything wrong with you having a brand and smoking
Yeah.
somebody else's
Well, it's
brand.
like
I
being
don't
in the
see a
restaurant,
problem
right?
with
Like I
that.
didn't just eat at my own restaurant. I went out to other restaurants. I wanted to see what are they creating. Can I take what they
Yeah.
did and make something a little bit
Exactly.
different? Like that, and that's
Exactly.
what this
Exactly.
is. That's why I
Exactly.
say I'm a lover of the leaf. I really don't care. I'm not in competition. I just want to make a cigar that people want to smoke. That's all I care about.
Yeah. No. You're right. And one
Exactly.
of the one of the things that I see a lot of people that are trying to get into the industry is that they want to compete with legacy brands. And what they try
Good
to do
luck.
with that is one, they're trying to get the tobaccos either made by one of them or they're trying to get like, the seconds that they have, the ones that they don't want, the bundles. They want to try to get the fancy bands. They're trying to spend so much money on that. You can't do that. And I feel like if you're trying to compete with shelf space, if you're trying to compete with those type of things, you're in it for the wrong reasons, and you're just gonna fail at it. No matter how
Yeah.
decent your tobacco is, you're gonna fail at it because one, you're investing so much money in it, and two, you're just not. How can I put it? Like you're just not being yourself. You're not being unique. You're just trying to be like someone else, and you can't compete with that.
Well, that's okay. So, like in choosing a factory, right? I had to be very careful. Now, it was kind of serendipitous how it happened meeting Cuevas, but imagine if I was able to get Carlito to agree to make my cigars, right?
Yeah.
Well, that would be
No,
stupid.
yeah.
I
No,
mean, my
yeah.
cigars are going to taste like a Fuente.
Yeah.
I mean, because Fuente has a very
Yeah.
unique flavor to it, right?
Mhm.
It's like, why would I do that? I had to
Yeah.
find somebody that just they had the ability to get all these tobaccos in, and it doesn't really have a certain flavor to it.
Yeah.
You have to create the flavor. Where
Exactly.
Fuente, dude, you could hand me a Fuente with no band on it, I'm going to tell you it's a Fuente.
Mhm.
Mostly because I love Fuente. I smoke Fuentes all the time. The 858 Sungrown's probably my favorite core line that he's got, although it doesn't come out very often. Any of the Opuses I love, but like
Yeah.
people are going to know. Like when JC Newman did the hell was that? The Maximus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Maximum.
As soon as
Yeah,
I smoked
Julius
that, I'm
Caesar.
like, shit, did Fuente put a new cigar out? And like, no, that's Newman. I said, who blended it?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, Fuente did. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's a
Of
Fuente.
course.
Fuente.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Um, Aaron, so tell us a little bit about, for example, this one, El Primo. What wrapper it has? What kind of binder it has? What kind of
So
fillers
the
it has?
wrapper on the wrapper on the one that Bochins are actually smoking
Mhm.
is a San Andres on both because I love San Andres. So the Primo and the Terzo both have that. Now the difference in the blends comes here. The Primo has a Dominican binder. It's got Nicaraguan, Colombian, and Pennsylvania broadleaf fillers. So I'm a big fan of Pennsylvania broadleaf as a filler. I think it's a very underrated tobacco, but it can also be an overused tobacco. So you have to be very careful with it. If you use too much, it's going to taste like nasty sourdough bread. Like it's going to be very yeasty. So you have to be careful how much you use. But if you use just enough of
Yeah.
it gives a really unique flavor to it. The Secondo, which is the green band, that one is a Habano wrapper, Dominican Olor binder, and it's got Dominican, Nicaraguan, Pennsylvania broadleaf, and it's got Piloto Cubano tobacco. Now
Okay.
the Piloto Cubano,
Oh, nice.
a lot of companies don't like to use because it can go south real fast. The Piloto Cubano, if you use just a little bit of it, it gives you a real like zesty, citrusy notes to it. You can get like a little lime, little lemon, little orange, something like that. But if you use too much of it, it becomes very floral. So the trick is to just put a little sliver in there to add a little bit of citrus. The Terzo that you're smoking, it's got the San Andres, the Olor, and it's got the Criollo 98.
Yes.
So I'm Nicaraguan through and through.
Mhm.
I make no hiding it. Padron that's my cigar of choice when I go to just sit down and enjoy a cigar. But I don't like paying Padron prices. So when I created the Terzo, I tried to create something that I could smoke all the time, and that was the Terzo. So I originally did that one for me. The Criollo 98, I'm a huge fan of. The 99 is okay. The 2011, 2012, like those are good, but the 98 is probably my favorite Criollo that I've had so far. And then
Okay.
and those bands are
Nice.
also made in Miami. Cigar Band Man.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, the
Ricky.
guy. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a
I
Connecticut
do. It's
cigar,
called
right?
the number 40. So I do not like Connecticut cigars. Most of the time when
Yeah.
companies make Connecticut's, they make them so mild that it's like you're smoking air.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Air.
when I
Yeah.
went to create my Connecticut, I don't believe in changing the wrapper on a cigar and still calling it the same thing. So like let's say I put a Connecticut wrapper on the Primo. It's not the Primo no more. It's a whole
Yeah.
different taste.
Mhm.
So you're never going to
Exactly.
find a Connecticut version of any of my cigars. You're not going to find a sun-grown version. So when I made the Connecticut, it was its own blend. And
Okay.
because I don't like Connecticut's, I had to create a Connecticut that I would smoke.
Okay.
So for all my
There you go.
full-bodied, Maduro smokers out there, give the Connecticut a chance because it was created for a Maduro smoker.
Yeah.
Now it has a Ecuadorian Connecticut, which I like better than the regular like Connecticut Valley Connecticut. It's not as chalky. It's more of a creamy texture to it. The Ecuadorian Connecticut. It's got the Allure binder, which gives it punch, and it's got Dominican and Nicaraguan fillers, which adds that body to it. So it's more of a
Mhm.
medium stick. But the flavors will just blow you away. Um, I'm actually, I was such a fan of that one that I actually called it the number 40, and I released it on my 40th birthday.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's
Yeah.
why it's called the number 40. Okay. No, yeah, I still haven't tried it, and I think doing a medium Connecticut is the right way to go. I'm like you, Aaron. I'm a full body type of guy. I don't really enjoy Connecticut's much, only a few because of the same reason. For
Yep.
me, it's like it's blowing out air and smoke, not really getting
Yep.
anything out of it. You know what I mean? But a Connecticut with a medium type of profile, definitely I'll smoke and I'll dig. But this one so far, for me, this is medium plus on the retro, the blue band, the El Primo. I
Mhm.
don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, El Primo. It has really good construction, really good draw. I have not had to relight the cigar
Nope.
at any time. It hasn't gone off. Um, I'm not a chef, so I'm not gonna get into notes like you, like beef
Yeah.
jerky and stuff like that, because I can't pick up those type of notes. I either like the cigar or dislike the cigar. I really
No,
like
this
this cigar.
cigar, I'm gonna be honest
I
with
really
you.
like this.
Listening to him speak, because I actually had the 40, and everything that he kind of like said was something that I was thinking. I'm like, first of all, this is not a typical Connecticut, because this is definitely not
Okay.
a typical Connecticut. Usually, when you smoke in Connecticut, yeah, it's like you almost you're better off just not really smoking anything. Had a little it just had like that body to it. It wasn't a full body, but it definitely has some body to it. This one, I did try the Criollo. I did taste the Criollo 98 on it right away. For some reason, whenever I smoke the Criollo 98, it's always left like a little dryness on the aftertaste. But this one on the
On your
palate, but
palate.
this one is not giving me that at all. So I mean, I love this cigar right now. Like it's blended very well. And what I like about it, like it looks like you're actually involved in the blend in these smokes, because you coming from a background of flavors, like you really putting out a quality product. It's not like something like, yeah, just give me whatever you got there that you don't want to put a band on it. It looks like you're really taking the time out and doing what you want to smoke, which is I commend you for that.
Well, that was the thing, is that like a lot of these companies, they'll get in what you just said earlier. They'll put this this real flashy band on top
Hmm.
of bottom of the barrel tobacco, and you're like I was smoking one a couple weeks ago, and it was embossed and gold foil and like all this shit. I'm like, man, this thing looks awesome, right? And I go to
Yeah.
smoke it, I'm like, dude, this tastes like
Yeah.
short filler, just nasty. So no, I take a tremendous amount of pride, because I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not in it to just put my name on a cigar. I'm not one of these fly by night companies that, oh, this sounds like a good idea, let me go do this. I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it in the long haul is to put out a good product that people are going to want to buy.
Hmm.
The hardest part of this whole thing is getting people to take a chance on you. That's the
Yep.
hard part. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care if
yeah.
you
That's
could
the hardest
you could
part.
sink $1 million right now, $1 million into a factory, all these lines of cigars. You still have to go get people out
Yes.
there to
Yep.
to agree to
Yeah,
take your
to
cigar.
sell and to buy it.
Hmm.
So every lounge that
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
opened, I've opened personally. Now I'm expanding this year, so I do have a broker coming on. I have more reps coming on, but I just take a different approach to it, because like this is my life. I'm not in this to just, how do I say this without sounding like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just to make a quick
exactly. I'm
buck.
not trying. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
make a quick dollar. I'm trying. Look,
yeah.
so there's two M's. Okay, you either have money or memories. I'm trying to make memories.
Right.
Money will come.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about money. I
Yeah.
can find money. If you
Exactly.
make memories with people, they'll remember you
Yep.
and they'll smoke your stuff.
Yep.
Because let's face it, it's not the cigar that people fall in love with. It's your personality. It's your brand.
Yeah. It's the
That's what they fall
story.
in love with.
Yeah.
It's your story, 100%.
Hmm.
So my story gets
100%.
quite lengthy, just because of everything that I've done in my
Of
life. But
course.
at the end of it all, the biggest thing that I want people to walk away with is that I don't make this stuff for everyone else. I make this stuff for me, because if I don't like it, it's not going out.
Yeah.
I don't just want to put 4 blends out in a year and here you go, here's 4 new blends. Like, how do you even promote that? One blend.
How do you even exactly? I agree, and I think that's some of the mistakes that many brands do. Like talking to several different people, they're like, "Oh, if you're ever gonna put out a cigar, you have to, put out a cigar that people like." How do I know what people like? I know
Yeah.
what I like.
Yeah.
If I put out a cigar, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a cigar that I like, and then I can promote and talk about the cigar that I like, and hopefully
Yep.
you get to like it too. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what brand it is. Not everybody's gonna like your cigar,
Yeah.
and I understand and I
It's
respect
not
that.
for
You know what I
everybody.
mean? Um, exactly. Not everybody has the same palate. Not everybody has the same profiles. And not everybody, people expect different things from stuff like that. But I agree that if you're gonna put out a blend, it's gotta be a blend. Like if you're doing it for you, this is what I like. I will smoke this every day. I really like it, and then put it out, and then talk about it,
Yeah.
and tell people, explain to people what it is, what is it that you did, how you did it, why you did it, and then once they try it, hopefully, they like it. No, bro, listen. So you're involved
Yeah.
in the blends
Yeah.
of your cigars, and that's good because to be very honest, you know, I think that if you're a cigar brand owner and you're not involved in the blend,
Well, you're just trying to you're just it's because
why
you're just
having a
trying to be
cigar
a
brand?
face of it now. It's
Yep.
like I'm at that point.
Ex-
That's what I was saying with expanding my team this year. So, I'm a very hands-on person, and I know where I'm at in this company. Even though I've only been in business about a year and a half, I know that I have to start letting go of things. And that's very
Yeah,
difficult for me because I am very hands-on. So now I have to put trust in other people to carry on what I'm trying to do, and hope that they do it correctly. But the
exactly.
one thing that I won't let go of
Eh,
is, like, all the bands are designed by me. All the promotion is designed by me. Um, my
By
my
you, yeah.
boxes, they're all made by local Amish cabinet makers.
Oh, nice. All
Like,
right.
I don't have my boxes
Oh
done in the
wow.
Dominican in a
Yeah.
foreign country, and nothing against the foreign countries, but I like to support
No, no,
local.
yeah,
So
That's
I the,
beautiful, man.
the only thing that
Beautiful.
I
of
have that's
course.
made out of country is the cigars.
Yeah.
Everything else is made here in some way, like my bands, right? Cigar band man down in Miami, he does the bands. My Amish cabinet makers make all the boxes. All the display trays are all made by my team inside my warehouse. Like, we do everything. We do everything up here.
Nice, man. That's
Nice,
awesome.
nice. Aaron, let me ask you. So for the for people that might want to try your cigar and might want to find it, they can only find it contacting you, or do you have your cigars in
Yeah,
other
so they're in
shops
they're in other
online?
shops. I'm only down to South Carolina because my biggest thing is, if I can't get to a store personally, I don't open it.
Okay.
So I don't have any reps that far down south. So all those stores in North Carolina and South Carolina, I visit those personally. Now, I am bringing on a
Okay.
rep in the South, so hopefully when she comes on board, she'll be getting into Georgia and Florida and Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. So she'll start opening up that
Okay.
area. But if not, you can go to slipperyrockcigars.com. It's actually a lounge local up here. He sells them online. He's where I send everybody. If you want to buy them online, slipperyrockcigars.com is where you go, and he'll ship anywhere in the United States.
That's awesome, man.
Nice, nice.
I'll put the link on
Real
in the video for you in the thing.
real quick, Aaron, bro, and I don't mean to like give you more work to do, but can you tell us a little
Oh
bit about the
yeah. So
prices on the
depending on your
cigars?
state, because every state's excise tax is different.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Toros, which is what you guys are smoking, those retail at 12, and the
All right.
Okay.
Robustos are 9.50. So
That's good. That's
if
good.
you're
nice.
in Pennsylvania, it's
Yeah.
12. If you're in Florida, it's 12. If you're in Ohio, I think they're like 12.80 because of the tax. I think North Carolina, they're like 13.50 because of the tax. So like each state's different, but it is a $9.50 and a $12 cigar.
That's excellent. Shit, with the
Nice.
prices that they're coming on
So
now.
and you got different vitolas.
Whoop.
No, I'm saying with
You-
the
you got
with the
different
pricing
vitolas, right?
with the prices that boutique brands are coming out
yeah.
with now with outrageous. That's very affordable. $9 to
Okay.
$12.
So
Very
Yeah,
affordable.
so the days of the $8 to $10 cigar are over.
Yeah,
They're gone.
definitely. Those are gone.
They're gone.
Now it's more like 12 to 15. But I had the price that I set in 2023 for my cigars is the same price it is to this day. And
Wow. All right.
every year so far, it happened in 2024 and it just happened in 2025. All the lounges that carry my cigars would ask me, are your prices going up? And I tell them all the same thing, and I'll say it again here. I don't buy in to the inflation bullshit. If the factory doesn't raise the price on me, I do not raise the price on you.
Oh, nice.
Exactly.
All right.
My
Good stuff.
cigars have been
Why
the
exactly?
same
Why
price since
increase
day
it?
one.
Good stuff.
No, that's good. That's
Mhm.
good stuff. And like you said, the $8 to $10 days per cigar, they're gone. A lot of people they don't want to admit it,
Yeah.
but they're gone, guys. You're not gonna get good
Nope.
cigar for
Yep.
$8
Definitely not.
anymore, unless you get like bundles and stuff like that. Then you're gonna be able to find things like that. But nowadays, yeah, because like we speak to a lot of people and we do herbs and stuff like that, and a lot of people are always concerned
Yeah.
about prices. Like, oh my God, now cigars are like 14, 13, $15 and this, and it's hurting the budget. And I completely understand because even though we sell cigars, I buy cigars for me too, for my own consumption, and prices
Mhm.
have increased definitely. But I agree with what you just said, and I kind of give you props for that because, like you said, if the factory is not increasing your cost, why are you gonna increase
Mhm.
it to
Mm-hmm.
the customers? You
Yep.
know what I mean?
I don't do it. Unless if you see the cost of my cigar go up, you can blame Luis for that.
Hey, Aaron. So real quick, so it looks like since you're very involved in your blends and everything. Are there any rappers out there that you kind of like want to start working with, like whether it's a Cameroon,
Yeah.
any of Sumatra? Like, is there anything out there that you kind of like want to
The
work with?
Yeah, I do want to do a Cameroon. Here's the problem. The Cameroon, unless you get a true Cameroon, it's not going to have that flavor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Marifel has that on lock, and
Mhm.
Marifel, they sell 90% of their Cameroon to Fuente, so you
Yeah.
just ain't getting it.
You're right about that.
Cameroon seed grown in other countries, it just doesn't have the nuances that the true
Yes.
Cameroon has. So I'm going to step away from Cameroon for a little while.
Okay.
I do have a new one. I just talked to Luis about this. He called me probably about 3 days ago. We're working on another one.
Okay.
I got some samples coming, so I'll announce it here. This will be the first time I've said it out loud. It's going to be a barber pole.
Nice.
Oh, all right. All right.
But I'm thinking instead of doing your typical like Maduro Habano, we're gonna change it up a little bit, and we're gonna do a Maduro and a Connecticut barber pole.
Wow, that's
So you take
okay.
a
Nice.
full bodied
Nice.
Yeah.
tobacco and you take a mild tobacco and you fuse them together for that barber pole.
Okay.
What's going to go inside of it, I don't know yet, but we'll see. Because I said a couple of things like for the blend, he's going to send me some samples to try. Which actually I have a new order coming up here in about a week, so we'll get the first blend. We'll see what it does, but it should be interesting because I don't know of anybody who does a Maduro and Connecticut barber pole.
In Connecticut. Yeah, the typical is the Candela, Connecticut, Candela, Maduro, Habano Maduro, and stuff like that. So are you gonna be releasing those cigars this year?
If it goes well, so
year?
here's what I like to do. I release a limited series. So these limited series, it's kind of carrying on the tradition that Tony Bellotto and Robert Caldwell did with Lost and Found, where they purchased found cigars.
Yeah.
And Tony was able to hook me up with 2024's, which was called the Nano. And then he got me hooked up with my new one that I just released, which is called the Seguido.
Okay.
So each February I release a new limited series, but at the end of the year in November I release another core line. So if I do this, whatever cigars come in next, whether it's the Barber Pole, I'm also playing around with a Corojo, whatever that's going to be, we'll release in November.
And now, what vitolas are you releasing everything like Toro size or?
So I blend everything in Toro, because Toro is the #1 selling vitola. Okay, immediately followed by the Robusto. I don't release any other sizes core line because those are niche things. Like the 660 Gordos, like not many people want those, so it's not enough for me to want to do it. The Lanceros, the Pantelas. So Toro and Robusto is what I do. I have been toying around with the idea of like a special annual release, which would be like, let's say I wanted to do the Primo in a Gordo. I would only make like 1,000 for that year.
Okay. All right.
And then when they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It definitely looks like. Yeah, what I like about it is that you got your mindset on it, man, and it's like I love it. Like you're not, oh yeah, I'll see what this is. I'll see it now. It looks like it's either that or it's not. You know what I mean? So I like that about that, man.
Well, those who know me know I'm a chess player. And I'm thinking 12 moves ahead at all times. So I already have in mind what's going to release 5 years from now. It's just a matter of taking it year by year and releasing these things as I can. Of course.
Beautiful, man.
No, that's awesome, bro. And like you said, Rafi, like, we can tell by the way, the things that you're saying and everything, that you know exactly where you're going, and you know exactly what you want, and you know exactly your game plan, and that speaks a lot. That's what I'm saying. Again, it's not about bashing other people or anything like that, or talking trash about anybody. But again, guys, because a lot of people nowadays, you talk to anybody and everybody wants to have a brand, everybody wants to get into the cigar industry. If you get into the cigar industry, if you want to have your brand, make sure you have a game plan. Make sure that like you have a strategy and where you're going and where you want to take it to. You know what I mean? Like, just don't do it to make $3. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna become rich selling cigars unless you're like hooked up with Fuente or one of these big name people. But if you do it for the right reason. And Aaron, like, I give you props, bro. Like, everything that you have been able to accomplish in so little time, because believe it or not, even though you started in 2020, that's little time. Have a lounge, your own brand, and all the plans that you have, all the different lines that you already have. You're working with Casa Cueva. Those are
big accomplishments. Definitely, hats off to you on that.
No, I appreciate. No, my thing is I follow what I try not to piss people off when I say this, but I listen to what God tells me. Okay. And when something's put in front of me, there's a reason that's put in front of me.
Yep.
So I'm not a daydreamer. I'm a doer. And there's been a lot of people that I know that have told me that my cart is before my horse. And I always tell them the same thing. My cart is not before my horse. My horse drinks rocket fuel. Okay. So like, it's not my fault you can't keep up with me. Yeah. But I also don't let people know what I'm doing. Yeah. Like even my rep Vince, he's actually headquartered here a couple towns over from me. He has no idea what I'm doing until I call him into a meeting and be like, oh, by the way, here's what we're doing now. And every time he comes in, he'll see something different in the warehouse and be like, what the hell is this? I'll be like, oh, well, that's the next move. And he'd be like, where did this come from? Well, this is what I've been doing. So like, I never quit. And actually it's funny because this was the first morning, today was the first morning that my lounge wasn't open. So funny enough, last night I went home. Now I haven't had a day off since March 31st of 2024. Okay. So I've been going every day for almost 11 months. Wow. And I told so Evan, my buddy Evan, he runs the lounge when I'm not here. I I told him I went home last night and I barely made it through the door and I collapsed out of exhaustion.
Sheesh.
I barely made it to my
Wow.
bed, and I didn't get out of bed until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Like I almost had to text you guys and be like, "Hey man, we might need to reschedule this." But like I'm not young anymore, dude. Like I'm 40. I mean, that's still young, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
young,
Mhm.
right? So like it's just everything
yeah.
came together, and it finally just broke me down. But I don't stop, because the one thing I learned from like my grandmother passing away, my dad passing away, 5 years ago, is tomorrow's never a guarantee, man. So
Really
if you
isn't.
if you leave something to do tomorrow instead of doing it
Mhm.
today, you might never get to do that tomorrow.
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
might, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I,
So
Absolutely.
I
I
go
agree
and
with
go and
that.
go until literally I collapse. And last night I collapsed.
So Aaron, so just going based off on that, because you're a man that moves around a lot. Is there anything like any shows that you're gonna be a part of? Like, we always talk about like the PCA, all of these things. Are you trying to be a part of that? Or is like,
Um,
you know what, I'm not even gonna invest my money in that. I don't need to do that.
well,
I'm just cool with what I'm doing.
I I think PCA is a money grab. Um,
Oh
I
yeah,
think that there
definitely.
is a need for it, but I'm just not. I would rather concentrate on opening these lounges old school versus
100%.
going to New Orleans or Las Vegas and meeting up with lounges that I don't even know who they are. I haven't vetted them out. I don't know
100%.
where they're located, and sit there and then inside of 5 minutes try to cram my entire life story into a conversation. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I do. So when I go to open a lounge, I call ahead of time, probably a couple months ahead of time, and I'll say, I tell them who I am. I say, look, I'm coming into your area. I'm visiting with other lounges. Would you like to sit down and have a cigar with me? If they say yes, I put them on the schedule.
Hmm.
When we go, I walk in, we smoke. I sit there for two,
Yeah.
3, 4 hours, and I'll just smoke with you. And then at the end of it all, it's up to you whether you want to take a chance on me or not. So for me to go to PCA or TPE and try to do all that in 5 minutes, that's just not how I do things.
Yep.
Now, one day I'll probably go, but it ain't anytime soon.
And not to mention all the free cigars that you're gonna have to give out, boxes of cigars.
Man, yeah, but if you've seen
Oh
how
yeah.
many I've already given out, like
Oh man, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that.
I might as well have went to PCA with the
I
amount
hear
of shit I've given out.
I hear that, man. I hear that.
Yeah, no, I think PCA and anybody that will be watching, because again, there's a lot of people that you guys don't know like what goes on behind the
Yeah.
under the table. PCA for me, honestly, it's a waste of money. Because at the end of the day, everybody that goes to PCA, they just want to see who's got the biggest booth, and obviously it's gonna be
Yeah.
the big guys because they spend $100,000 because they
Well,
can.
I'm
So they don't even go to see cigars to learn about new brands and to give a shot to the boutique world. And it's unfortunate. It's like
I
that.
mean,
It's
Tony
true.
even told me, he's like, "Don't waste your time with PCA." He said the only reason he
Yeah.
goes is because he has to go. He don't even want to go. Luis doesn't even go. I think he does TPE only. Doesn't even go to PCA anymore. Mario told me don't even bother with it.
Mario, nope. He's
Yeah.
told us plenty of times.
No, yeah.
Yep.
Mario, yeah. He went once and he told me it
Plenty of
was a
times he's
failure
told us that.
because, again, they discriminate a lot against the boutique brands. The big guys are the ones up front. And again, people just go for the show, the pictures. Oh, let me get a picture with this guy. And just if you really gonna go to a show like that, I'm gonna stop at every booth. I wanna see what everybody's putting out, the new cigars, the new blends. I wanna try it. And if I'm a store and I go to the event, and I go to your booth and I really like your cigar, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, hand me like 10, 15 samples. I'll get back to you so I can place an order, and then you never hear back from me again because a
No,
lot of stores they would
yep,
do that. They give a lot of free cigars and they
yep.
never
That's
order
exactly what they
shit.
do. I sent a
You know what I mean?
couple of samples through the
And
mail, which I stopped doing very early on when I figured out that that's what they were doing. This one
Hmm.
I sent 20 cigars to one store because he was like, "Oh, well, we have we have 6 guys on our team. And I'm thinking, holy shit, 6 guys. I mean, okay, whatever. So I sent 20 cigars. I mean, that's 2 boxes of cigars
Yeah,
that I sent to them.
that's a
That's
lot.
And then
boxes.
when I
That's
called him
money.
back, he's like, well, we smoked
money.
them. They weren't anything special, so we're going to have to decline. I'm thinking, what
Wow.
what the fuck did I just do here? I just wasted money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you sit face to face with them,
Cheap.
Mm-hmm.
they have a harder time saying no to you because you're face
Yep.
to face. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I have been told
Yeah.
no face to face, and that's okay because I don't want to be just another cigar on the shelf. You know,
Mhm.
I want you to
No,
I want
yeah,
you
exactly.
to bring my brand in because it's good and you can stand behind it. You can recommend it to people. But if I'm not there and
Exactly.
I just send them to you and then you tell me you're good, well, you just got 20 free cigars.
Yeah.
Like I ain't playing that
Exactly.
shit.
And I'm gonna be
Exactly.
honest with you. There's a
Yeah.
cigar lounge not too far from here that he holds events. You know, I'm guessing he buys and I'm telling you, I go into the cigar lounge. I'm like, yo, how did the event go? I wasn't able to make it, and he tells me, yo, those cigars are just sitting down in the bottom. Nobody's buying them, and it's like what you said. Like, do you really want to do that? Like, are you really just trying to be a guy with a cigar in the bottom shelf that nobody's even touching? Nah, like go in there physically, speak to the guys, and let's get it. You know, let's try to get you. Let's try to get the cigar moving so that people could try the cigar and enjoy it for what it is.
Right. Well, that and events too. Like events really help. So I just did an event a couple days ago on Saturday over at Casa Aficionado in Delaware, Ohio, and it took me 5 months to even get a meeting with her. And when she finally gave me the meeting, she brought my cigars in. Well, they didn't really move too much, and then I just did the event over there, and they went like crazy because
That's what it
you
is.
you bring in a cigar that no one's heard of.
Mhm.
You got to do an event immediately because if you don't do an event, like people
Exactly.
aren't going to know what it is. So I got to
Yeah.
go over there. It was a packed house. I mean, for a rainy February day in Delaware, Ohio, I mean that place was packed.
Wow.
And we did probably around $2,500 retail worth of sales.
Wow. That's good.
So
That's
like
nice.
that was a good night. But see,
Good.
now every one of those people that's in there, they got to talk to me. I got to talk to them.
Mhm.
So now they're gonna smoke my cigar because they got to meet. You can't just throw a cigar on the shelf and
Yeah.
just, like, what? Now, if you put a Fuente on the shelf, it's gonna sell. You don't have to
Yeah.
do
Of
nothing.
course.
But what do people
Oh,
not
of course.
realize?
Wanna
Fuente's
see.
been around over 100 years. They
Mhm.
don't have to work for it anymore. But when
Yeah.
Arturo first came out, same thing with Jose Padron. When they first came out, what did they do? Door to
Yeah.
door, they
Yeah.
sold their cigars. Well, that's what I
Yep.
have to do, door to door.
Yeah. Because at the end of
Exactly.
the
That's
end
what
of the
you
day,
have
the
to
way that I
do.
see it is that if the cigar shop is not going to give me your story the way you're going to tell me your story. So
Right.
it's like you're almost
Exactly.
depending on the cigar lounge to be like, yeah, just make up a story and just tell them the cigar is good. No, I want to meet you. I want to see what you're about. Give me your story and I'm going to smoke your cigar and see what it's all about.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like you said, I mean, a Fuente is gonna sell itself. Like you said, it's a 3 generation cigar name that, like you said, they don't need to knock on doors. People knock on Fuente's door because they want to get their cigar in their shops, which is different. But that's why
That's good, man.
Aaron, like
The cigar is good.
we encourage people. You know, every time we do a live on Instagram or we do a Zoom Herf or we do a YouTube podcast, we always talk, to people, and we encourage people to always try new things. If you haven't heard about a brand, try it. You might like it, you might not, but at least you give it a try. You know what I mean? At least you're supporting some way somehow. And our focus, obviously, in the store. We are a new store. We opened up the store like 7 months ago. Yeah, we carry some legacy brands, but our main focus is to bring more boutique brands because we want to be able to give people stuff that they don't
Mhm.
actually see. Like, you go to any cigar shop and you're gonna
Yeah.
see Perdomos. You go to any cigar shop and you're
Yep.
gonna see Fuentes. But you go to any cigar shop and you're not gonna be able to see Casa Caraballo. You're not gonna be able to see La Vega. So give it a try. It's a new world. It's a new
That and
experience.
the
You know what I
industry is
mean?
changing. Like a lot of these old timers don't want to realize that it really is changing. And when you get these old timers that go in there and they smoke like Olla de Monterey because they smoked it for the last 30 years and that's what
Yep.
they smoke. These young
Yeah.
kids, they don't care about
Mm-mm.
legacy brands. They want to
They
know
don't.
what's the new thing. These young kids want the new thing.
Yep.
What's the new thing?
So the industry is changing, and everybody's gonna have to change with it.
Yeah. 100%. I'm telling you, when I go, there's another lounge right by where I live, and it's a lot of older people in that lounge, and everybody in there is smoking what you just said, legacy brands, Ashtons. They're smoking Fuentes. They're smoking Padrones. So when I go in there and I light up one of the
Yeah.
boutique brands, they're like, "Oh man, what are you smoking?" Like they smell something differently, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is this," and they were like, "Oh man, what is that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a Nicaraguan tobacco. It's pretty good. You guys should give it a try." But they will not touch those boutique brands. They already know what they want. They go in there, they literally buy the same stick every single day, and that's what they know, and that's what they're gonna buy. So yeah, like what you said, those brands are gonna sell themselves. Those things, they sell themselves. They don't need representatives on Instagram or Facebook, whatever you want to. They don't need that.
Yep.
But those people
Yeah,
are missing out, and they don't even know that they're missing out. You know what I mean? Because they're missing out the chance to smoke something good. And I know this podcast is about LaVega Cigars, but referring to Caraballo, that we've been working with Casa Caraballo for some time now. A lot of people on Instagram, they didn't know about Casa Caraballo, and when we launched Casa Caraballo, that the members started buying Casa Caraballo, I have not
nope.
received one single negative feedback from anybody that have tried Casa Caraballo, and people like it, and people keep buying, and I'm like, there you go. That's what we're
Yeah,
trying
Yeah.
to tell you, that there's a bigger world outside of
and
Well,
legacy
I
brands. You
this
know what I mean?
cigar's beautiful, man. Listen, I can't even speak well more than this is a very good cigar, man. I love it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Dude,
But
I love this cigar, man.
with Mario's cigars, Casa Caraballo, I met him when I joined the BCA, and him and I started
Oh,
talking. And as soon as my lounge opened, I called him and I said, "Send me 2 boxes. I'll put them in here, like no question." Because he helped me out. He gave me pointers on things to do. Like he actually helped me. So his cigars are sitting over there.
Nice, bro. Good stuff, man.
it's sad that it's sad that and I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it. It's sad that, yeah, there's so many brands now in the market, and unfortunately, boutique brands, and so many, man, like bad brands, that then you have a good cigar, and because people have tried out other boutique brands that they haven't liked, they they judge
And
they
then they
judge
go
it for
back
the
to the
same thing.
legacy.
Oh,
And
I'm
then
not
they go
gonna
back
try
to the
another.
legacy. That's
Exactly,
what it is.
exactly. And again, guys, anybody watching, I mean, we're just speaking facts. I mean, it's not like we're bashing anybody. We're not mentioning names, but that's the
Yeah.
way it is. Like people judge it, and then people be like, "Oh no, I don't want to keep trying boutique because I already tried like 3, 4 brands, and they were shitty, and I'm done with that. I'm going back to like my father and Padron and all these big brands." It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Yep.
It happens, but you just got to keep plugging away at it.
We do it, man.
Yeah, no, no, yeah. You gotta keep moving forward and keep
Yep.
doing your promotions and your marketing, and keep talking to people and tell people to try your cigar and this and that and give it a try. And like I said, at the end of the day, Aaron, it doesn't matter how cheap or expensive your cigar might be, how good or bad your cigar might be. At the end of the day, you might have a tremendous blend, a tremendous cigar, but there's someone that is always gonna be like, oh,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't like this cigar, and I respect that. As long as you come to me with a positive, negative feedback, not disrespecting, like, hey Aaron, I smoked your cigar and it was a piece of shit. No, don't come to me with that attitude. Don't tell me that. Just tell me that the cigar was not. your profile. It was not for your palate. You didn't
Right.
like it, and
And I do that all the time.
I
I mean,
respect it.
there's I smoke different cigars every day. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. But I would never tell someone like, "Oh, this cigar sucks." The biggest thing is telling people, why do I not like it?
Yes.
You
Exactly,
don't have to
exactly,
belittle a
exactly.
company. Like you tell them like, this cigar is just not for me because I don't like these notes that I got out of it. But if you like this kind of stuff, this is good for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is good,
Exactly.
man. But Aaron,
Yeah.
listen, we've already been on an hour. I don't want to keep taking up a lot of your time, but give us some, I guess, some closing words, man. What do you have coming up? What do you have planned? What can we see in the future? And kind of like take it away.
Well, I got events booking out. I think I'm booked up to June right now. The closest one I have down south is I'm doing the Old Kentucky Herf
Ooh,
in
all right,
May. I'll be
all right.
there. I'm hoping to get into the Buffalo Festival up in New York.
Okay,
We're gonna do the North Charleston, South Carolina smokeout again, but I don't think schedules are gonna match for us to get down there for that one. But now
okay.
we do events all the time. I got a broker coming on board. I got a new rep coming up down south. So I say this year is just this year is an expansion year for LaVega
Okay.
Cigars. We're just gonna try to keep going and opening more and more lounges.
Nice. Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
For the people watching, please, follow. I know he didn't put it like as the Instagram, but his Instagram is La
Yeah,
I'll
Vega
put it on.
Cigars,
Yeah, I'll
right?
put it
Or La
on the
Vega
video
Lounge.
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so that people can follow you. You know, help support, guys. Just follow him. If you have any questions, you can send me a message. I'll be happy to answer any questions. If you want to talk to Aaron
Yeah.
directly,
See,
you can also
I have an open door
send him a
policy, man.
message.
I don't shy away from it. Reach out to me. I only have one social media platform. It's Instagram. I never got into Twitter. Facebook is poison. Um, Instagram's all I
Yeah,
got. So like when we were originally connecting, you were saying WhatsApp. Like I don't do all these
yeah,
apps, man.
yeah.
Like like here's my phone number, here's my email. Either call me or
There
email
you
me.
go.
Your
Keep it
choice.
simple. Keep it
Yeah,
simple.
keep it simple. But no, if you want to stay up to date with what I'm doing, Instagram is the way to do it. I do a new. I started doing it this year, especially for the lounge. I do a new cigar of the day. Every day I'm doing a different cigar. I fill
Okay.
people in on all the different events, whether it's an event that
Nice.
I have at my lounge or events that LaVega Cigars is doing. That's the best way to keep up. If not, message me, call me. I don't care. You reach out one way or another. And if you want to try my cigars and they're not in a lounge near you, slipperyrockcigars.com is where to go get them.
Definitely.
Nice. By the way, you gotta talk to Casa Caraval and you gotta tell him that when he opens up his new lounge, he better do an event for
Yeah,
you
well, I'm
down
still
here.
waiting to him to do an event down in Florida too for his other lounge.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know, but I know he's working on the new one, and he's been opening the new one since September, but paperwork and permits and shit like that, he hasn't been able to. But once he's got it open, um, anyways, I'll
Hmm.
talk to him. But you also gotta let him know to see if he can do a La Vega cut and light event or something, an event, for you down here. That way we can have a chance to for us to meet and whatnot. But again, Aaron, thank you
Yes,
for coming in. Cigar
dude.
was amazing.
Outstanding
Really good
cigar,
cigar. I'm
man.
still
A
All right.
smoking.
beautiful cigar.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm glad you're
I'm
enjoying
almost at
those.
the note.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. And again, like he said, he has an open door policy. Any questions, please reach out to Aaron. That's the good thing about the boutique brand, that if you want to talk to the owner, you can reach out to the owner. They'll talk to you. And what a better way to smoke a cigar with someone that you
Yep.
already met or someone that you already spoke to. It gives more meaning
Hmm.
to the cigar when you smoke it instead of not
Well,
knowing
that
the
I
people. You
mean
know what I mean? Like, at
that,
least
and
for me,
if you
that's what
come
I
to
feel.
La Vega Lounge, I'm here every day of the week. One way or another, I'm here every day of the week. So if you want to come in, I'll
Nice,
be here.
nice,
I've got other brands. If you want to smoke my brand, it don't matter. I've got them all. We'll just sit and we smoke.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate
nice.
you, Aaron.
Nice. Thank you, guys. So please, guys, give us a follow. Craft Life Social, Wolfpack Cigar Club, Cigar Man Josely. LaVega Cigars. Any questions, again, just reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions, any doubts. Please help subscribe to the channel. And again, Aaron, thank you for coming in and you're talking to us, smoking with us, and showing us more
Yep.
about
I
your brand.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.